His divine grace, founder of ISKCON, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantara Shrimadbhagavatam ki jai. Their most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Arakunda Bihari ki jai. Shri Jagannath Shri Baladev Mahesabhava ki jai. Shri Nataji Shri Balagopal ki jai. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Nitai Go Prem. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembly. All glories to the assembly. All glories to the Lord and Spirit of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya.
Narayanam namaskritya
Narayanam namaskritya.
Naram chaiva narottamam
Naram chaiva narottamam.
Devim saraswatim vyasam
Devim saraswatim vyasam.
Tato jayamudiraye
Tato jayamudiraye.
Ashtaprayashu bhadreshu
Nashtaprayashu abhadreshu.
Nityam bhagavata sevaya
Nityam bhagavata sevaya.
Bhagavati uttama shloke
Bhagavati uttama shloke.
Bhaktir bhagavati naistiki.
Bhaktir bhagavati naistiki.
Reading from Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text
49.
49. Okay, Text 49. Bala
Bala.
Dvija
Vija.
Surin
Suran.
Mitra
Mitra.
Bala Dvija Surin Mitra
Bala. Vija. Suran. Mitra.
Pitri
Pitra.
Bratri
Bratra.
Guru
Guru.
Druha
Druha.
Pitri Bratri Guru Druha
Pitruvat. Bratur. Guru. Druha.
Na
Na.
Me
Me.
Shan
Shan.
Nirayan
Nirayan.
Moksho
Moksho.
Name Shan Nirayan Moksho
Namesyan Nirayan Moksho.
He
He.
Api
Api.
Varsayutayutai
Varsha. Yuta. Yutai.
He Api Varsayutayutai
Api. Varshaya. Varshaya. Yuta. Yutai.
Baladvija Surin Mitra
Baladvija Saran Mitra.
Pitri Bratrir Guru Druha
Pitra Bratur Guru Druha.
Name Shan Nirayan Moksho
Namesya Nirayan Moksho.
He Api Varsayutayutai
He Api Varshaya. Yuta. Yutai.
Baladvija Surin Mitra
Baladvija Saran Mitra.
Pitri Bratrir Guru Druha
Pitra Bratur Guru Druha.
Name Shan Nirayan Moksho
Namesya Nirayan Moksho.
Yapi Varsayutayutai
Yapi Varshaya Yuta. Yutai. Baladvija Saran Mitra.
Baladvija Saran Mitra
Pitra Bratur Guru Druha.
Pitri Bratrir Guru Druha
Namesya Nirayan Moksho.
Name Shan Nirayan Moksho
Yapi Varshaya Yuta. Yutai.
Yapi Varsayutayutai Bala
Bala.
boys Dvija
Vija.
the twice born
The twice born.
Surit
Surit.
well-wishers
Relatives.
Mitra
Mitra.
friends
Friends.
Pitri
Pitra.
parents
Parents.
Bratri
Brother.
brothers
Brothers.
Guru
Guru.
preceptors
Preceptors.
Druha one who has killed
One who has scared.
Na
Now.
never
Never.
Me
May.
my Shat there shall be
There shall be.
Nirayat from hell
No have.
Moksha
Moksha.
liberation
Liberation.
He
He.
certainly Api
Api.
although Varsha
Varsha.
years.
Ayuta, millions. Ayutai, being added. Baladvija Sirin Mitra Putri Bratrir Guru Druha Nameshan Nirayan Mukso Yapi Varsayutayutai. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhai Charnadavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I have killed many boys, Brahmins, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I live millions of years, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. Please repeat. I have killed many boys, Brahmins, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I live millions of years, I will not be relieved
not be relieved
from the hell that awaits me
from the hell that awaits me
for all these sins.
for all my sins.
I have killed many boys, Brahmins, well-wishers, friends, parents, preceptors, and brothers. Though I live millions of years, I will not be relieved from the hell that awaits me for all these sins. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Whenever there is a war, there is certainly a massacre of many innocent living beings, such as boys, Brahmins, and women, whose killing is considered to be the greatest of sins. They are all innocent creatures, and in all circumstances, killing of them is forbidden in the scriptures. Maharaj Yudhisthira was aware of these mass killings. Similarly, there were friends, parents, and preceptors also on both sides, and all of them were killed. It was simply horrible for him to think of such killing, and therefore he was thinking of residing in hell for millions, billions of years. Om Jnana-tamarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshushan Velitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
So this is Yudhisthira
This
speaking?
is Yudhisthira speaking
Okay.
here. And now see here, we have to take into remembrance, as the son of Dharmaraj, who Yudhisthira is, Dharmaraj is the incarnation of religion. And he is the one who is in the ruling position of the planet, made the planets, I should say, plural, made specifically for punishments we call hell. And the other day I was realizing as well, see, Yudhisthira on the battlefield was told specifically by Krishna to say Ashvatthama is dead. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. Now, this incident, because Krishna, controlling all the powers that be, Yudhisthira's chariot came down on the ground. And the example was made as well later on in Mahabharata that he had smelled hell because of that. And see, there's another statement being made by this revelation that the incarnation of religion and God Himself are two different. Each of them are complete in themselves, but religion is itself a separate institution from what God is, who God is. And religion is not always at the same level as God is at. The institution being suggested that it was being run by human beings, right? So when we look at the difference between the institution and God Himself, we see that the completeness of love of God is there. But without God, the completeness is missing. And so this is a significant point. And I got the realization yesterday. Consider this. Krishna and Srimati Radharani, the love they have for each other, we consider to be the supreme most love there is, the purest love there is. And for them to experience each other's love for one another, then they join together in one body in the form of Lord Chaitanya, right? What does Krishna do to us? He's entering in one body with us. See, we don't think of ourselves that special. Mm-hmm. But this reveals how much love Krishna has for every living being. Because he's gone into every single living entity's choice of incarnation that we as souls have all made. So he is the revealer of what love is in this, that he has chosen by his own nature of being love itself. Come into this material universe with each and every single one of us who have chosen to separate ourselves from him. So what an act this is on his part, to reveal to us an equality of love for each and every single one of us that he is giving to his most beloved, love herself, Shrimati Radharani. This is the nature of God. He can't get away from being who he is. Therefore, the way he treats everyone is equally with love. And having been through each and every one's experiences of that which will cause them to be put into hell. He's there as super soul, also as a form, a guide. In many spiritual circles, he is called the still small voice. See that still small voice, with the chanting of Hare Krishna, it can become stronger and stronger and stronger. Because the devotee, by taking part in this dharma that Krishna has himself established, and it is Krishna's own will that we are fulfilling when we take part in this. So actually, he, being the instigator, the original person, and the one who is giving the Dharma for the age, it is his desire greater than it is our own desire. And we come to realize that, wow, Krishna being all-powerful has desired for us to be able to be freed from the bonds of material energy in this universe that's keeping us from knowing the eternalness of our position with God, the eternalness of our long-lost relationship that he wants to restore with us. So this is a very special, if we can take it for all that it is, this relationship in the same body we have with Krishna, well, we can never be alone. So, Krishna doesn't have a super soul. Krishna being super soul, soul body. So, I don't know that in the spiritual world, souls retain super soul. This question is coming to my mind now, to find that out, because their body's already made, and they're already in that dwelling with Krishna. So, there's external energy, there's internal energy, and interestingly, I was reading the other day in 7th Canto, that the soul, in the state it is chosen to be in the material universe, is marginal energy. But once it surrenders to Krishna, and then it begins to act out its purpose in Krishna consciousness, it becomes a part of that internal energy of Krishna. That's when the taste, that's when the experience of love starts to blossom and bloom, that the soul starts tasting. When Srila Prabhupada took sannyas, we have a picture of him standing with his newly acquired danda. And the danda has another stick on it that makes 3 prongs, mind, body, and soul, representing what is being surrendered by the soul that carries the danda. And then when he carries that for 10 years. And then when he's offering respects, it is his mind, body, soul, all the strength, everything that is surrendered to Krishna as well. So the same way when we offer dandavats, we're doing the same thing. If Srila Prabhupada had not established the means of initiation, the means of the name being given, you can imagine the chaos that there would be in the world. There's chaos in the world now, granted. But the unknowing nature of the qualifications for Guru, the reason to take a Guru, the fire sacrifice and the performance of the proper mantras, all these things, these were all established by Krishna, and this that we call ISKCON, this is just simply a continuation of Krishna's people, Krishna's body, Krishna's church, say, Krishna's religion. So as a body, we're fallible, but with Krishna, he makes us infallible. And so Yudhisthira here, revealing to us the consciousness he is experiencing at the time in the presence of Krishna, for us to be able to realize how wars bring hardships even to the religious people. And what to speak then, he's saying that even the religious people that are supposed to be protected, the Brahmins, they're being killed because of wars. So we have a lot of people, here we come to a place we're hoping to be able to experience peacefulness for 2 hours, to be able to study from the scriptures. But how dreadful it would be to have to be in this place and then all around us, bombs going off, yelling and screaming and guns shooting all over the place. We hear that at night in Detroit from time to time. But this is the effect of war. And from this statement here, he's not expressing his satisfaction with the fact that he had to go through this thing and that he had to perform this activity. You'll see the characteristics that Krishna points out in Arjuna that qualifies him for being a participant in that battle to uphold justice, because he was not wanting to kill. And you'll see on the part of those who are righteous, they don't want. Krishna himself, he went to the Kauravas to persuade them not to fight in this battle. Then in the middle of the battle, he's telling Arjuna to fight. And so we can see his innermost desires, but then it was when they wouldn't go along with him, then he takes it up to also fight for the cause that was right. It was preordained, and Krishna already knew when he gave Duryodhana the choice of either his army or him. And he had taken up the vow not to take any weapons. So Duryodhana thought he had the upper hand. Now already they're outnumbered, right? And they're getting Krishna's army. The Kauravas. I mean, the Pandavas were outnumbered. And now the Kauravas are getting another army. A whole nother Akshawini, at least, of men. Now, my guru, imagine how these warriors who have trained all their life to serve Krishna, they have taken orders from their commander, who Krishna was. They've been trained by Krishna himself. All these mantras are coming from Krishna. And now, by fate's arrangement, they're being forced to fight against their very teacher, their very love. They love Krishna, all of his men. They weren't in a position to want to fight against Krishna. So in effect, you could say the commander-in-chief, which my guru points out, Krishna is referring to when asked by Balaram, how is this chanting going to be promoted around the world? And Krishna says, I am going to send my commander. And so you can realize, in the hearts of one who's on the battlefield, wanting to fight on Krishna's side, being forced to fight against Krishna, how unfulfilled one would feel. Can you imagine that? So Srila Prabhupada comes to complete that work, to be on that battlefield once again in a future life where he could round up Krishna's lovers of Krishna. So, I don't like to put it in so many words, but like a cowboy rounds up cows, Srila Prabhupada's rounding us up. Gonna bring us all home. Not to the barn, but to Krishna's dwelling. Because Krishna loves the cows. Well, if we were in forms of cows, we could have much more to offer. But we have what we have, and so we offer that. We make the best of a bad bargain, Srila Prabhupada said. With these human bodies, we're making the best of a bad bargain when, in effect, even the bad bargain it may seem to be is miraculous. He's going to take us who were setting for ourselves goals and aims in this world that would kept us bound in the material energy for a continuation of how long we've been in here, endless. We can't count the years, the lifetimes, and yet he's giving us the opportunity to come back to God, to get free from this altogether. Total freedom, that's real freedom. Freedom from the bonds of birth, death, old age, and disease. By being able to experience life in its fullness, to get there. So not only are we going to have a better life after this life, but while we're living this life, because we've been given the guidance we need to be able to use these bodies the way they were made to be used, they don't cause us the suffering that they otherwise would. It's not to say they don't cause us suffering, but in comparison to what suffering would otherwise be enduring. When Haridas Thakur was whipped in 22 cities because he was chanting Krishna's name, and he continued chanting Krishna's name. He wasn't feeling the pain himself. Krishna was taking it upon himself. So he can do that with us. And as I've noticed, I used to get colds like once a year practically. having a cold that bothered me or taken me away from service for a long time. Oh boy. And they said, don't brag about it. But it's just the way, and I've seen devotees, they don't get terribly sick. They don't have serious wrecks and problems in life that people are enduring. As long as we stay, within the realm of keeping our sadhana as strong as possible, as strong as we find ourselves able to, and keeping association with devotees, constantly looking and yearning to be fulfilled in those words describing Krishna and his association. It is that strength of the eternal that we are putting in our consciousness. Now I was describing the other day, a record called the Akashic record, is that record stored which has already passed, that the light that came into existence to manifest the events of the entire past are accumulating in a place called the Akashic record. It is the accumulation of all history that has ever happened. So with this in mind, Srila Prabhupada confirms this by affirming the validity of the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ. He accredits this Aquarian Gospel as authorized. And that is having been drawn from this Akashic record. So now, if there is such an Akashic record that exists, holding the past, yet Krishna knows the future. So what about the possibility of that substance of the future actually existing? It simply has not manifest here yet. See, that's Krishna's foresight. He can see all that. If he can give us a vision of the future individually, what vision does he have? This is why, see, if we tap into Krishna's consciousness, we can get a taste for what it could be like. Or maybe even what it should be like. I think in all of our minds, we can come up with reasonable conclusions about what life would be like on the earth if there was no more war, if everything was perfect, everybody got along with everyone, if everyone was living to serve with a loving attitude towards everyone, towards every form of life there is. You imagine how different life would be. There would be no need for prisons. My belief is it's possible there would be no sickness. A lot of the sickness and dis-ease is a disturbance of the ethers. All these karmic activities disturb the ethers. It's a very subtle, reaction that takes place. Even our thoughts cause reactions which in times past we would experience almost immediately. It's explained, I believe in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that as long as we don't act on our thoughts in this age, Krishna is not holding us accountable for our thoughts. But if we think to do good, he's willing to give us benefit. So how much impetus this should give us to think always of those glorious things, that fill our minds with those things that are glorious. Creation itself is a glory. Could you imagine being a witness in audience of the activities that go on at the time of what we call creation, the stirring of the causal ocean, the winding of a Suki around Mount Mandar, scratching the back of Korma, this mountain churning, this huge ocean of milk. And as this churning is going on over thousands of years, this is taking place. And there were witnesses of this. This is so above and beyond our own imaginations, some devotees have a problem believing these things are even possible. And yet this is the way it was at the time. Creation. Now we are so far away from that, it's hard to even believe in many cases. I don't have a hard time believing what seems like the impossible anymore. I don't know if personal experience has expanded my mind to where now nothing seems impossible anymore, with realizing the size of life that there was in such a yuga when human beings are 50 feet tall. Then what kind of creatures would there be in the animal species at that time? And if human beings are all at peace with the animal species during that time, that's the thing. And see, as long as the animal kingdom sees us fighting against each other, you don't see this going on very much among species. The species themselves don't normally fight within themselves. They have enemies, but unless times get really scarce of food, they don't normally partake of cannibalism, eating one another. It happens, but it's evidence of the fact that they are animals, and they're supposed to be of a lower tendency than human beings. But when human beings act out in such a way that is even against the nature of animals, then animals want to separate themselves from human beings. It is said that there is a fear put in animals of human beings, but when those human beings engage in karmic activities, reactions can come from animals. And especially when every meal, practically speaking in America, every meal is the cost of a life. And a life that was put there to be able to experience family and to come to a higher level next time around. But without this knowledge, without this understanding, it's just looked at as a piece of meat. And they even have to name it by different things when it's being used. They don't call cows, even. They're livestock. Something to be stored away as a form of a human being's wealth. But this act of Mr. Mehdi in India to encourage people to make these cows part of the family. This is the way that cows will produce more pure milk. It is the love for Krishna that drives these cows to produce the milk of the causal ocean. Now, with human beings' interaction with cows and the love that human beings can develop for cows, the cows put that into their milk. This is why milk is so beneficial for the development of the brain that is used for spiritual development, because that care that the mother cow has for her baby goes beyond, it is born in the mode of goodness. And they have reached a stage of development that is beyond human. We're not born in the mode of goodness, but cows are. And what is revealed by that is the love for their young. If you take a cow's baby away from it, it will cry for more than 24 hours, non-stop crying. It sounds like coughing. It's crying. And it's a love that is inbred in the species. We have love also in our species, inbred, shown by affection, but the consciousness of animals is different than the consciousness of humans in their ability to control their thoughts. It's different. They're moved by modes of energy in the mode of goodness that human beings are not moved by automatically, simply by being born by the mode of goodness. Swans are of that same nature. They're of the mode of goodness. So these evidences are given to us to help us realize there are higher forms of life than human being. And so we've got to come to the state of human being before we can develop the consciousness necessary to get out of this material consciousness altogether. Any form of life in which the soul is not manifesting a material body is a higher form of life. But we won't know that till after we leave these bodies. Although, you come in contact with Narad Muni, you might have the very experience of seeing an eternal substance. Narad Muni's in the self-same body for millions of years. Since the foundation of this world, Narad Muni was there, born out of Brahma's body. That's a long time. And he's been in kirtans of ISKCON kirtan. Narad Muni has been there. And we have the good fortune of knowing that in the future, we may have these very compelling experiences ourselves. Because Krishna is calling us to himself. And that's not ordinary. That's not normal even. It's normal for Krishna, and we may come to believe it's normal. But it's extraordinary on the basis of what takes place in the material world in comparison. When Krishna calls a soul out of the material universe, they normally look at it as, you know, you lose everything in this material world. That's like the biggest failure you could be in life, isn't it? You lose your house in a flood or something. Some robbers come and steal everything from you. You look at that as disaster. But that can be the very event. And this is what Queen Kunti's prayers bring out too. These disasters can be the very event that causes the soul to turn towards God. And if it does take that, then what a glorious event it becomes in what would otherwise be looked at as a disaster. Now it has become the turning point for a person to find glorious eternal service with God because they've turned their heart towards God. So all these seeming disasters can be in our minds now looked at from even a different perspective. We don't have to look at anything as happening for other than Krishna's own purpose, ultimately. If Krishna can engage a demon, look at this. I was thinking about this, engaging demons. You can see this engagement of the churning of this ocean that brought forth the moon, brought forth Usha Shrav, so many incarnations came out of the churning of this ocean, but it was done by both demons and demigods. A perfect example of how, see, when Krishna is the influencer, the true influencer of true practitioners, of Krishna consciousness. They can engage the demons. True devotees of God can engage demons without their even knowing they're being engaged in Krishna's service. They don't even believe he exists. And Srila Prabhupada said, when we're out there distributing books, if they even care to give a penny to the cause, there will be cause for them to get a human birth. Imagine the power that is. The act in one's heart of developing the consciousness of, for the first time in one's life, turning towards God, saying, God, I believe you're true, so I'll give this person something in expression of that. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes on Krishna's behalf for you to be saying to him, help me. I need help. I need to get out of this material universe. And that's the devotee's consciousness all day long. Krishna, help me. Mother Kunti's prayers, Krishna, help me. Put me in those situations, and she's willing to be put in the situation where we need Krishna's help, where we realize we need Krishna's help. Otherwise, people are left thinking proudly that they are the doer. This is the mistake of human advancement that we are missing out on, limiting ourselves by our perspective of what needs to be done, thinking we can do it. Because we don't have a vision for what needs to be done. If we had a vision for what needs to be done, we'd know we couldn't be the one to do it. God has to be the one that does it in us. So, all these people, how much of the world's production do you think is used in the breaking of the regulative principles?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
90%.
Sex, the slaughter of animals,
Gambling. Intoxication.
And intoxication.
And it's all on the television every day, 24/7.
Yeah. And they're advertising that. And they're getting wealthy off of these things. And the world is exalting these things as the greatest experiences of pleasure. And then, even they make laws against it. This fentanyl thing, we're all saying this is a big crime. People are dying from fentanyl. But the drug they're taking to get the fentanyl is it's illegal to begin with. Right? So why is it being looked at as the fault for the person who's selling them the drug? Nobody's said, you gotta take this drug or else, I'll kill you. No, you're gonna take it and die because you chose to take it. You fool. But this is what's happening. The victims are not being seen as the ones responsible for their own acts. And this is a problem in society as well. And by that, then people don't recognize the need to be trained. They want to take credit for everything good and no credit for everything bad. And it's just the opposite with the devotee. Everything good that happens to the devotee, he thanks Krishna for, and everything bad that happens to him, he takes the credit for. Yeah, my fault. I should have been thinking like that. And we were living backwards, and they think they're the ones that are having it right. Upside down. Why can't be done? Are there any comments, any questions, any realizations anybody like to share to liberate us, give us the truth of life that we depend on for our existence? This is real life, depending upon the truth of God, to give us the experience we need to continue with a purpose. Every single human being has a purpose. And there is a reason you were brought into this world. And the world would not be the same without you. And Krishna is putting you in this form now to be able to reach out to him and become a part of his family again. Be rejoined to your eternal relations. Yeah. And go back home. There's one home for us all to live in, and that's the home of love. Krishna consciousness in our hearts and our minds, filled with love of God to give to everyone we see, in any form we can, in every circumstance. Joy. Shrimadbhagavatam, Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada, Ki